This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Amanda Bauer. It's Friday, October 14. In Squiz Kids Today, floods, again, $1 billion fine for disinformation, a lab brain that plays video games, and which dog are you? That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
There are major flood warnings in place and actual flooding in progress in 3 different Australian states today, with rain bucketing down in Tasmania, Victoria, and regional New South Wales. October rainfall records have already been broken in many parts of Victoria, and the wild weather is expected to continue there for weeks. Yesterday, the power went out in tens of thousands of Victorian homes, and the state's emergency service responded to more than 800 calls for help. In the town of Echuca, storm water got into the drinking water, so residents are having to boil their water to kill any bacteria that snuck in. Ugh. Rescuers have also been busy in Tasmania. Evacuation centres have been set up on the island and many roads closed. And over in regional New South Wales, communities living near dozens of rivers are under flood watch or dealing with floodwaters already. Pictures of submerged cars and flooded streets have been all too common in Australia lately, as the weather event known as La Niña wreaks havoc on us for the 3rd time in a row. If you're curious about what exactly La Niña is, our most recent Squiz Kids shortcut will get you up to speed. I'll put a link in your episode notes. Meanwhile, stay safe out there, people.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever we land. And today we've landed in America, where a media personality called Alex Jones has been fined $1.5 billion. Yep, that's billion with a B, for spreading disinformation. As Squizzy the News Hound has taught us before, misinformation is untrue, but spread by someone who just believes it and doesn't mean to hurt anyone. Disinformation, on the other hand, is spread by someone who knows it's a lie and spreads it anyway. In the case of Alex Jones, he spread lies about children who had been killed in a terrible tragedy. Now he's been ordered to pay their families $1.5 billion. Of course, that won't bring the kids back or make their families feel better about the lies, but hopefully it will make other people think twice before spreading false information.
Animal Kingdom.
There's some sad dog news out of Greenland, which is a country all the way up in the Arctic Circle. Greenland is home to a unique breed of sled dog that looks a bit like a husky. But the number of Greenlandic sled dogs is dropping dramatically, due in part to climate change. Traditionally, Greenlanders took dog sleds out to hunt fish and, of course, show tourists the sights. But with warmer temperatures, there's so much less snow and ice that travelling by dog sled often isn't possible. So there were fewer dogs bred and bought. Boo. In happier dog news, new research from England has found that people often choose pooches that they think have similar personalities to their own. The Kennel Club asked 1,500 owners of 16 popular dog breeds about how outgoing they were and other questions about their personalities. They found that people tended to own dogs that they thought were like them. For example, owners of Jack Russell Terriers were, like their dogs, loyal and faithful. People with golden retrievers saw themselves as positive and happy. I'll put a link to the quiz in your episode notes so you can see what dog breed you are most like. Apparently, I'm a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Everyone's best friend, fun to be around, and never tire of playing. I like it.
Pop Culture Corner.
Hands up if you like to play video games. Now, keep your hands up if you've ever played Pong. I'm guessing there aren't a lot of hands left up. Pong is one of the first ever video games, released way back in 1972. I'll put a link in your episode notes, but be warned, it is pretty boring. It's an extremely basic two-dimensional game with a ball and two straight lines to represent the paddles. You hit the ball and try to keep it in the court, like ping pong, which is where the video game got its name. So why on earth am I talking about a 50-year-old video game? Well, yesterday, scientists announced that the 800,000 brain cells they'd grown in a lab have learned to play Pong after they connected the mini brain to the video game with electric wires. The mini brain learned to play Pong in 5 minutes. The researchers stress that the mini brain doesn't have feelings or even understand that it's playing a game, but it could one day be used to test treatments for brain diseases, which is a little more important than video games after all.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. The population of sled dogs is dropping in which Arctic country? That's right, in Greenland. And question number 2. American media personality Alex Jones was fined for spreading what? That's right, disinformation. And question number 3, what is the name of the video game that a lab-grown brain has learned to play? You got it, it's Pong.
Shout outs.
It's October 14 and the Nikon Small World Micrography Photo Competition winners have been announced. Yep, that's a mouthful, but wait until you see these photos. Slime mould has never looked so beautiful. I've put a link in your episode notes to the competition itself, as well as a great quiz from the ABC that challenges you to figure out what some of the photos are of. Now, today is also a Friday, and you know what that means. Lots of birthday shout-outs for today and the coming weekend, for which we're going to need the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday to these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today. Kaiser from Perth, Adam from Sydney, Eddie from Forest Lake, Terence from Minto, Maddie Lynn from Geelong, Piper from Jerilderie, Adam from St Ives, Grace from Bondi Junction, and Mackenzie from Junee. Belated birthday shout-outs go to Alika, Chad, Louie and Maya from Helensvale, and Jax and Twiggy from Randwick. And not forgetting the Squiz kids who are celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Peyton from Walpole, Caitlin from Greystanes, Hudson from Cannon Hill, Josh from Adelaide, Masood from Macquarie Park, Jaslyn from Woongarra, Quinn from Wattle Grove, Crystal from Craigburn, Georgie and Hunter from Mount Eliza, and Ayin listening all the way over in Vietnam, and Yosef listening in Brunei. A special classroom shout out goes to Class 3-4 at Exeter Public School and their teacher Mrs Wilson, who celebrates her birthday over the weekend. Happy birthday, Mrs Wilson. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you want a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. That's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.